Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, we have an update to our traditional magic course, our candle magic course. And I don't know how many people know it, but of course, Off-World Tech offers many books on traditional magical systems. And we've made them very easy to use, and the books are very guided. We have all the classic grimoires, which are kind of for intermediate to advanced students. They're a little hard to understand, but these are the classic texts that we brought to the public, the first ones to ever translate them into English and offer all of them. We also have courses in what is called traditional ritual magic. We have a simple, easy to do course, and many other different systems, Asian magic, and so many other Babylonian. So there's something there if you want to follow these fun and fascinating areas. And remember, using force energy machines is certainly the primary way of doing things to a degree, but I do just as many candle magic rituals as I do, quote, force energy physics or radionic type stuff. So it should all be kind of combined together. And you can also, of course, put candles on your in plates, etc. while you have. We're going to be showing these kind of updated things in our Great Path course for those who are taking that, to show you all the many tips and ways of using force energy machines out there. Now, we've had some updates as of recent of how to use candles, etc. And one of the things that we have moved away from, of course, is using taper candles. Now, the traditional sorcery course that goes into all of this, which you'll see a link down below, is just that. It shows you the old way of doing it, tells you how the formulas work, candle colors and what they need. But we've moved away from that because it's expensive, it's difficult, and it's very messy. I've converted over to the new candle system of using candle lanterns and tea lights. And this has proven to be very easy, very, very safe, and definitely the way to go. I used to burn boxes and boxes of taper candles. They all tend to make a big soot. They make a mess. You get wax everywhere. It's a nightmare. Just is not really appropriate unless you have a separate area that you want to do that. But the cost of doing that also is huge. You don't really need to do that anymore. So with the new using tea lights, you are certainly have a super powerful system, which is safe, etc. Using, as you see here, this is a nice big candle lantern. They have doors on it that shut and lock so that they can't open. Well, these do get very hot, particularly up here as the heat rises. And if you grab this and hold it, you will get burnt by it, but not something overly serious. So it does protect it and makes burning candles about as safe as you can get. As long as these are, and of course, using tea lights, which is what we do. This is a 12-hour tea, 12? No, 8-hour tea light. And you can get them 4, 6. There are even tea lights that are 24 hours, depending on where you get them and so forth. The longer they burn, the more they cost. That just depends how many rituals you're doing if you want to bother with it. But there's some good buys out there that you can get tea lights that you can burn many, many of them as inexpensive as about 5 to 7 cents. So it's very inexpensive. These are available just about everywhere. Here's a 24-hour tea light. But you can see how big it is, and this causes problems when you get to this size. And I'll go into that in a few minutes here. But we have had problems with these kind of candles bubbling over and even splattering a bit and messing up the inside. So you got to make sure you put these in a decent type holder, and we're going to talk about that in a minute as well. And we found new ways of doing it. So you need to get a basic lantern. Now, these things come in many different sizes and in many different colors, etc. I really like these. I was able to obtain these on sale from Amazon, but you can get any one you want. You can get fancy depending on how many you need. You can spend a lot of money or a little money. It doesn't matter as long as it's sealed in, and it has, glass on the side here so that you don't have any fire danger. So you can get whatever you like, whatever colors you like. There are many, many different types, and they vary anywhere from about $15 up to $50, $60 if you want to get something really fancy. And it depends on how many candles you're burning. So the average person is probably going to burn several candles for several different situations and maybe several different people. So keep that in mind. You may need 4 or 5 of these. Of course, I have many, many, but because I do rituals all the time. Now, the other thing, once you have your lantern, which is, again, your personal choice, you should be getting this. Now, this is a, let's see if they have a technical name on it, submersible LED light. It's submersible. It's for actually aquariums, and you put 3 AAA batteries in here, and then you just close this up and you won't get any water in there, but we're not having water to begin with. I like these because they're nice, heavy. They serve as a stand, and of course they also come with a control here, and this is very important. This control here, you can pick the color you want. Now, this is nice because then you don't have to buy colored candles, as was talked about in the past. That's all kind of passé now if you have color lights and everything else. The only thing you need with this, of course, if you're going to do this all the time, is you get, and which I have, is rechargeable batteries. And they're pretty inexpensive now, and getting chargers and everything else. So you can get lots of batteries and a charger and everything else for probably under $40. So look for that out there, and that way you can you don't buy a bunch of batteries, which costs you a lot of money. I don't do that. I use rechargeables. And let's turn this on. It has it on, and okay, let's put it here so maybe you can see it a little better. You can see it has it on, and we'll turn it on right there. And it's set to the most powerful color, which is this turquoise, very power-based color. But you can change it to anything. Now, here is, what is this? What do we get? You've got green for money. You have red for love. You've got purple. Purple is a power color. Let's see if we can get a deeper purple there. It's kind of bluish. Purple is for protection. And there's things in between, and you can add things in a couple of colors. It's quite fascinating depending on which one you have it. And you can generally just pick the color you want. And again, it's for this particular person I'm going to work on here. They are seeking money. So we'll go up to the green. We'll put it on green. And that's it. That's ready to go. You just pop that in there. Now, you have to decide which candle you're going to use. Now, I found these new candle holders, which are really cool. What's nice about them is it has this unit underneath here. And that means gives you some nice, you can take the person's photo and you can pop it in there. And you can put stones in here. You can add other things to it, etc. You could even put the oil you're using. I can't do it with that one, but the smaller ones, you can do that with there. So it's kind of nice. It keeps it self-contained. You can put a whole bunch of actual, items in there: stones, crystals, anything that would signify money. I have several things, not particularly with it right now. So you can fill that thing up with all sorts of things that you want that symbolize wealth, money, etc. This would be something that would be good. So you can kind of form a money energy right there. And then you can put as many photos in there as you want of people you want to work on or send that money to. Generally, you work on one person at a time. Now, these holders are nice. Again, they have an insert here, so you can easily pull this out and clean it. One of the problems, as I said, with these, when they get a little bit too hot, and this is 8 hours here, so it fits pretty good. And anything pretty much 8, 6, 4 will easily fit in here. I'm not sure 10 or 12 will fit in there if you get those, and it depends. Generally, when you start getting up in the hours of the candles, you're going to be spending a lot more for it. you're better off keeping down to approximately 6 or 8 hours and getting the less expensive ones and just burning them more often. So these fit in fine. You do want to put them in a holder. If you take these and you put them on top of here, your lights and so forth, well, they tend to make a mess. They tend to leak and bubble. You can get some pretty intensive energies in there. And of course, it can get very hot if you're in a hot zone as well. So it causes a mess, which is why I've moved over to that. So these are kind of nice because you can do that. But if you want the ultimate protection, these are what I was moving into first. I just found these and we'll see how it goes. But I moved over to these little cups, like votive holders. Now, what's good about this is you drop them in here, and this makes sure that no matter what happens to this candle, it's going to stay in here and it's not going to mess up your lantern. I says I've had that problem where they've kind of semi-exploded to some extent, and it's gotten wax all over this and all over the sides because of a high intensity of energy, which is either done because of a ritual or in general because of heat factors. So it's really nice to use this kind of, and these are very inexpensive again. I believe they may even come from places like IKEA, but you can get these online very inexpensive for about $1 each or less. So you would then put your candle in here, and again, it gives you extra safety. Nothing's going to pop out of here. You're not going to get any flame. Generally, with these lights, once they're lit for a while, there's a lot of liquid here. So if this moves a little bit, it goes out. So tea lights are about as safe as you can get. Now, the problem is when you use these 24-hour lights like this, they don't fit in anything. Even if you pick that, it doesn't fit. So these are always awkward and difficult to use. Now, they do fit in here, kind of. You have to kind of press them down. And if your candle is tilting like this or that, the burn is going to be a problem. So they have to be level for the burn to be good and to last long, particularly as you start off. So you can see the problem there, but you can get this to stay like that if you're careful with it. And then you're able to put it in here. So you have it safe and there's no mess, etc. Now, we've got to understand that I have used them many times, just putting them right on here. And I've had problems with these. Believe it or not, these, again, tend to get super hot, and many of them have, I don't know if they've cracked or what happens, but I've opened these up on several occasions, and you'll find the wax has gotten out of that container. And, of course, this is only a plastic container, which is another bad idea, because that may spew out a little bit of poisons of plastic, etc. So using a 24-hour flame like this is generally not a good idea. They just don't fit anywhere. But it's up to you if you're not too caring about if you get wax, and you get wax on here and other places. Having a 24-hour candle does make things easy, but you got to remember, again, that's on for 24 hours. So you're going to have to be careful by understanding you've got fire going somewhere, and even though it's relatively safe in a lantern, this could be a problem. So 24 hours is 24 hours. That tends to be too long for the average person to deal with much. So using something that is down to 8 hours, 6 hours is generally pretty good. And as I said, these tend to be much less expensive. This is about 80, 90 cents. This is, I believe, 17. And if you put it all together, this is always cheaper than getting the bigger ones in terms of if you use this for 24 hours or use 4 of those, is still cheaper than one of these. And sometimes it's a lot cheaper. I found candles now that are 6-hour candles, and they're only 7 cents each. Very cheap, and that's something you want to look at. So it's up to you in the ritual you're going to do for a particular situation. Now, what you do here, and of course, as I said, I do like this feature, and I'm going to be putting stones and other things as I find more things to use for whatever it may be, on crossing stones, other things. So it's kind of nice to be able to have this whole container in here. Now, what I used to do is put a lot of stuff around here. And there's a problem with that. There's a problem with doing that because you have a potential of it's just a problem. It's hard to fit things in there. You have paper around there that could be a potential fire. I put lots of pictures and stuff, so it is a real problem. Generally with pictures and so forth, you will put them directly on the light like this, and then you put the candle on top of it, and again, usually in a holder. So you would do it like this. You always want to put it in a holder. As I said, it keeps things neat, clean, and much safer. Now, we do have actual formula discs for all of our formulas now. Now, this is for a camera, but basically, you're going to have a formula here, let's say like a bend over, uncrossing, and it's going to have the formula number here. And this is replacing the oils now, if you want to do that. And we still sell all the oils, and people love them. But we're trying to move away from all that. It's hard shipping oils to people around the world. It's a lot more money. These can be shipped anywhere, any place. And ultimately, these have more power, even though the energy is subtler. It's not as strong and in your face as a oil has, which has a tactile sensation to it with basically fragrances and feeling it. So you lose that when you have a disc like this. But these are ultimately more powerful. And what you do is you just put whatever you want to work on. You can put multiple discs. That's another nice thing about it. Right underneath it. So now it's activated with whichever you were going to do. So that's something to keep in mind and to be aware of. But this new kind of tea light holder, as I said, has the top here where you put the tea light in, which should really fit anything up to 8 or 10 hours. I'm not sure if you go past that, but because once you get these bigger things, they get harder to handle. As I've mentioned, this doesn't fit in, obviously. This doesn't fit in. It doesn't fit in here. So if you're using that 24-hour light, what you really want to do is try and balance it in. You can either put it here directly, or what I'm going to do is balance it in here, and we're going to show you this because I want a long burn on this particular situation. Now, the other thing we're doing is that you can, no matter what you're using, I just get a Sharpie here, and this is going to be for uncrossing. We're going to put uncross on here. And generally with uncrossing, you put protection, protection, protection. I usually put a little healing in there. A little more healing. And that's, when you're uncrossing somebody, they need a lot of protection. They're going through stressing times. And you can do as much as a little on here. Generally, you don't have to put too much. And that's all you do. You can do the same thing by writing on the side of your candle here. And Sharpies, of course, seem to write on everything. And, of course, you put in the, I use them exclusively, and then you put your protection, you put a little bit of healing in, you put your protection. And you can fill it up or just put 2 or 3. It's not really critical as long as the energy you're putting there. Now what you do, of course, is you get your oils. Now, here's another oil change I've made here. Now, one of the things you want to make sure is when you get your oils is that double check again. We've changed it here where we actually make sure we've taped over, but make sure your label is taped over because it's the oils tend to leak down and destroy your label, and then you don't know what's really in the bottle. The other thing is that if you want to use more oil, you certainly can. And what I've done here is you can see there's no ball. Generally, there's a ball in the top of there to stop the flow of oil. Now, I've removed that so that I can get more oil here for my particular purposes. Now, you can do that as well using oils if you want them to last a long time. The roller method is certainly very good, and the oils literally last for years. But some of my oils I've had so long, and there are some things that I want to get a lot of oil on because of the ritual, and this is one of them. This is a strong uncrossing we need to do. And what we're going to do here, again, you have it like that. So you can see how you start to just tap it on here. And you can actually see the oils here. And this, of course, you're going to uncross, so you're going to go counterclockwise. You're removing energy, so you're going counterclockwise. And this allows you, as you can see here, which you would never see if the ball was in there, you can see how you have lots and lots of oil there. So then when that is done, and let's change this for uncrossing here. I had green there, so I was going to do it, but I'm going to do a different ritual. Best thing for uncrossing is to move into the, oops. And a lot of it depends. These looks like these batteries are a little weak. If your batteries are down, you don't get the same type of colors. Here we go. Blue would be nice for uncrossing. I think we'll leave it on that, which is a protective energy. And then you just simply light the candle. I usually use electric lighters, but I found a couple of these old butane ones, which I'm trying to use up. Again, this would be put in here, and it kind of stays centered there. But remember, if it flops to the side like that happened there, you're going to get a bad burn, and your candle will not last that long time that you're hoping it for. So these have to be straight if you're using it. If you want to put it just on top here, obviously you get that. And of course, you do the same thing with these. If you were going to anoint this, you just tap it on the top to move the oil out when the ball is off. If it's a roller, you just go around. This would be counterclockwise. You're removing energy. If you're going to send somebody something, it would be clockwise, and you just roller the ball on there. But this is a little technique of removing the ball so you can get more energy on there by getting more of the oil if you desire to do that. And of course, you can be careful. You don't, most of the time it won't flow out. So a couple of taps and you're done. And a little bit of rolling around often is a problem. And of course, the only way really to know when you roll on there is to actually smell the candle and smell if the oil is on there, because you won't be able to see it. Most oils are clear. We don't add any colors to our stuff. So once you've done this, obviously, these, again, as I said, these have nice locks on them, and all of these kind of lanterns do. So you can't pull these things open, which is really good. I mean, I'm assuming with children or pets or everything else, they're not going to be able to find this little switch. You can put it all the way down. That's really locked in there. That's not going to come open easily at all. It has to be deliberately opened. And again, it gets very hot up here, and this is getting hot right now. And of course, this tends to get hot as well. So you're going to have trouble picking this up if you are going to move it. So you have to make sure you move it in a place right away. And again, remember that we're coming up with all of our formulas are now on here on discs, which are lifetime use discs. You buy them once and you're done. So this is really great. And it'll save you a lot of money in the long run. And as I said, shipping and everything else tends to be cheaper, and we can send these around the world easily. And remember, of course, we have the traditional candle magic called Traditional Sorcery Course, which tells you how to use all this stuff. It also comes with a whole bunch of teaching CDs, which actually have teachings on them. And as such, you can get lots of information. We talk about this new system as well on the CDs. And of course, the CDs, like all of our energy discs, have special sigils on them to empower you magically. You put your photograph on them as usual. So that's all part of this amazing process. And of course, remember everyone that you should be creating sacred space. Now, this is something we all tend to overlook, and that is having an altar cloth. This is a great altar cloth. There's several different styles. You always put this down first. This creates sacred space. You could on here probably get you could probably get 6 of these lanterns on this if you wanted to use that. And of course, that's what you use. This creates an energy to make sure that you can manifest easily. If you have some sort of negative energy in your house and you're trying to manifest and you put your stuff down in an average place, well, it's not an empowerment. So the first empowerment you always start off with is to get yourself an altar cloth. These are great. They last forever, basically. And these are sent direct from the manufacturer once you get the order. So we are going to be making altar cloths that are discs like this. And I'll have this pattern here will be on this disc, and you can actually put that under each lamp. That's another way to do it, so you don't have this as obnoxious. Some people, we have to be careful with the evil Christians out there who want to persecute us because we're good people and they are demonic. So people come over, see this, and they may object to it if you have those kind of scum friends. But it is something to keep in mind. If you have the disc here, it's a little easier. But if you're burning stuff like candle lanterns and stuff like this, well, I mean, this doesn't look very metaphysical or occult. I mean, it looks like a candle lantern. And these are nice. There's you see how it's got purple here, so it gives that glow to it. These do, again, create some heat, so they're good in the wintertime. They're also nice if the light is going there. It can serve as a night light in your place of dwelling. So it does give you all that feature, and as safe as you can get it are these types of lanterns. Now, as I said, right up here and right now, this is red hot. If you try and grab it, you're going. And you can't grab this either unless you use a cloth or something. So the whole idea is that it does get very hot here, and that will burn you if you grab it. On the sides and stuff, nothing is hot. This is as cool as can be. You can pick it up and move it and wherever you want, but you can't grab it here, and you have to be very careful because these tend to get hot as well. But you can move it easily at any time. This could be on for hours and hours, and you'll be able to pick it up here. It's never hot on the sides. All the heat goes to the top, and of course, this becomes red hot. And of course, these type of candles and everything else I find don't give off any kind of soot, even though a lot of them are made of paraffin, which is a bad petroleum product. But I think these are paraffin as well, but I haven't found them putting off any kind of soot or bad energies at all in terms of that dirty factor. Now, the problem with taper candles and the way they burn and everything else, because tea lights are made of a special type of, quote, paraffin or other type, quote, waxes. They're not really waxes, but of some burning chemical. So you don't get the toxins in these like you get with taper candle. Now, taper candles and everything else look cool. They're beautiful. They're messy. They drip. You got to clean the holders. They can knock over easy, they're dangerous, and they put out huge amounts of soot no matter what type of candle you get. And they also can be very expensive. Now, there are some alternative stuffs which, again, get even more expensive. Beeswax, soy, other things, but beeswax you can get in a taper candle. Soy and these other ones tend to be in jars again. And you certainly could use a jar as long as it fits in your lantern. But again, these are very expensive. These are very cheap, and you just can't beat them. Then you can write on the sides. Once this is done, you just throw it away. And as you said, if you use them in here, you've got a very cool thing to put the picture of the persons in here or people. You can put other things in there. You could put salt. This is a good thing to purify someone, particularly who's getting uncrossed. You could put different crystals and stones in there. I mean, it's really just open to your imagination. You could put some herbs in there that are also, so you can have this thing loaded with energies that help the entire process without making a big mess inside. And there isn't a lot of room there. Everything will be contained in here. If you don't want it any longer, you want to change salt or something, you just take it off and dump it out and you can clean it. This is just basic glass. You could pop this in your dishwasher and it cleans up very easily. So this is a great find. I think this is fascinating. I wasn't sure how well this would work. I'm assuming they have these around the world or something similar, but this certainly is a new facet to this kind of work, which is really nice. Because it is nice. I've been always putting stuff in here all the time, and it's a problem. It is a real problem. Because it doesn't fit too well, and then I've had problems with wax kind of exploding and getting on everything. So it ruins what you put in there. But this way you can do it. You can make your own stuff. You could put anything you want in here, rune stones, you name it, anything that you want to power something or have something of energy that you want to send or clearing things. I mean, people can put holy objects in here, religious objects, whatever it is, crosses, Buddha statues, all that could go in here. And then, of course, that's part of your ritual. So I think that's a fantastic little tool. I don't think too many people have. I've never seen anybody use that except me. And of course, it's always the candle lantern. As I said, this thing is as cold as you can get. Not cold. Bernie. Stay awake, caveman. It's as simple as that. And as I said, having these internal lights. Let's open this up. You got this big handle. And of course, when you move stuff around, you got to be careful with this. We'll see how these work. I do want this to burn, but I'll arrange this and put it in a place where it doesn't move. But you do have these nice little lights. We may have links to all this stuff if you want to use our link to actual to find some of these products we talk about, but I don't know if I'll do that or not. It's usually a bunch of pain to do it with very little results. But it is nice to find products by linking to them and having an associate link there. And of course, if you buy that way, the organization makes a penny or two, literally. But whatever, you can find these all locally. I'm sure these are available in your area. You just have to look for them online. I got these from Amazon. I got these from Amazon. These are just glass cups. These are all inexpensive. I think these were only like $1 or something. These were under $1. These cost about $5 or $6. They do last forever. I've never had one of these break on me, and I've been using them for 5 or 10 years. You do have to get rechargeable batteries, which you're going to have to invest in. Those are not expensive anymore. People who are old think they're very expensive. They used to be $5, $6 a battery. Now they're basically $1 a battery, and it's so much more convenient to have 10 or 15 batteries that you're charging instead of having to buy them all the time, which I think is very wasteful and costly. It's nice to have them right there. And they don't have to, the light does not have to stay on for the entire ritual. You want to get it going, it should stay on for a couple of hours. If you wanted to change colors, you could. There are all sorts of things from flashing, fading. So these are really nice units. I'm trying to remember how much these cost. 5 to 8 each, I think, something like that. And again, if you have trouble finding anything, contact me and I'll let you know where to get them or if I can steer you there. I believe these were purchased on eBay. Again, you can find these most anywhere. And they are really nice because they have a stand and they are called submersibles because these are for aquariums. You're supposed to drop that in the aquarium and then you control it from the outside with your control. So hopefully that's been very enlightening, everyone. This is a great area. Everybody should be doing this. It's easy. It's fun to use this kind of energy. You don't need any machines. As I said, I use this in coordination with machines, but it's always a tried and true way. I've used Candle Magic for over 35 years and always gotten good results with it. And the whole idea is you got to keep the energy going. And once you get your basic supplies, as I said, you're talking about something like this runs anywhere from a candle like this runs anywhere from about 5 to 15 cents each, depending on how big it is, as a general rule. So, I mean, that's pretty low cost. And the more you spend, the longer the candle burns, so you're getting value there. But in general, you can get an average 4 to 6 hour, which is plenty for your typical burn. These run, as I said, anywhere from about 4 to 8 cents each. So do check out the link down below to go to the traditional course. I think I'm going to put a sale for that course for a short period of time here. So do check out the link and you'll be able to get that entire 2-volume massive course with all of the CDs at a great price, kind of a little holiday special at the time that we're releasing this. And this is something everybody should have. I use this all the time. Everybody should be, if they want to do a quick, fast, or powerful ritual for someone, all you have to do is follow the instructions, have a few oils, or, as I said, convert over to the discs, everybody. This is where you'll have a permanent, and you can stack one on top of the other. It creates your energies. Really, this is the future of everything by using the energy. And these energies, of course, go up into the unit and are then sent into the particular target that you are working on. So it's a great, fascinating, and fun way to do things. And I hope you enjoyed. Watch more. We do have an entire course in the All Access. We have a occult science area that, which is only $75 a year. And you get all sorts of videos, books, and all sorts of other things. This is the way to do it. So do jump on that as well. Check out All Access and get moving, changing your life. Life is getting tougher and tougher. Those who take methods to empower their life will be those who survive and prosper.